I'm glad to see you. It is empty room, and I hope you will see these videos about our lectures. We can call lectures because the topics which we are going to explain you, it is very hard to explain only just in video context. It need to consult with each others in a room. So I asked to department for give us the extra lecture in September, and we pointedly discuss all of these topics in September again. So today and in next lectures we will just discuss the structure of the lecture and very important points of the movement disorder, vegetative nervous systems, cerebellum and thalamus, and other part of the topical diagnosis in the diagnostics in nervous system pathologies. So it is very important to understand the lection which we previously discussed in before the coronavirus infection, when we were doing a lection. It's about muscle tone, reflexes, and how is producing these reflexes, controlling the reflexes step by step, controlling the reflex territories, involvement of muscles. This is the base of the movement. So today we will speak about the movement. Movement is the ability of the nervous system which allow us to move our body from one point to other point. When we speak about reflexes, we say that most functions of the nervous system based on reflexes. So I say not all, I say most functions. So when we speak about movement, we have to say that there is some movement programs which is acting on a nervous system, and it is not reflex-react. For example, the breathing, it is a movement program. So I hope you understand what I mean. And the second thing, movement is a ability, basic movement is a ability the organism, even one cellular organism, even amoeba and other type, they haven't muscles, but they can move. So when the muscle tissue is become, the movement become a little bit complicated than amoeba movement. And when the many type of muscles is in evolution become, the nervous system is get a main role of controlling the movement type and, be careful, direction. Type and direction. So when an organism has a joint, so joint has a lot of freedom space, and this freedom space will need to controlling more complicated, and the nervous centers which are controlling each type of movement became. So movement system is a very hard system, and at one type is controlling the basic movement. So for example, we speak about you are opening the door, coming from the sitting position and going to the door and try to opening the door. And we discussed that in this simple movement we need to adjust, we need to first stand, keeping our body in vertical position, then walk, then come to the door, stopping and doing action, which we called opening the door by hand. So all of this movement we say the opening the door, but we don't say we are staying as a robot coming and coming to the door, this walking, and all of this part of the basic part of the movement make by the one system of nervous system which we call the extrapyramidal system, and second part is a voluntary movement which we say open the door. This is just the meaning of movement. We say that please open the door, and you show me how you opening the door by your hands. So this is a voluntary action which we are doing by hand. But all of this positioning stage are doing by the extrapyramidal system. So if we can divide into big two parts, the movement system consists of the voluntary and involuntary movement, which one makes by the pyramid system and extrapyramidal system. Pyramidal and extrapyramidal system. This is a central type of movement, but beside the central type there exists a peripheral type of movement, which is controlling just the transmission of impulses from the spinal center to the muscles. And as you know, the spine center is located in a spinal cord, and it consists of three types of cells, neurons, alpha, beta and gamma. Alpha, beta and gamma. So alpha motor neuron is most responsible for constructing the muscle, and gamma motor neuron was responsible for constructing the extrafusal muscles, which make the reflexes and muscle tones. Beta alpha motor neurons are something middles between alpha and gamma motor neurons. So let's speak about peripheral and central type of the structural nervous system is making two types of the pathology in nervous system of movement. We say peripheral type of movement pathology and central type of movement pathology. So peripheral type of movement pathology, both these pathologies are damage the movement ability. In peripheral type of movement pathology, when alpha motor neuron is damaged here or here, so muscles, we say the flaccid paresis. So what is a paresis? Paresis is a loss of force of movement. Be careful, loss of force of movement. So force give the muscles of construction alpha motor neuron, and also we have a muscular paresis, for example in muscular pathologies, for example myasthenia gravis. And when alpha motor neuron is not so irritated, the muscles is not so construct, and this become the paresis by peripheral type. The muscle lost his force and ability to construction. Second is when the damage alpha motor neuron, also he lost the muscular tone, because if you remember in our reflexes lection, muscular tone is also alpha motor neuron also involved in muscle tone function and reflexes. So in a peripheral flaccid paresis we have a loss of muscle tone, muscle force, loss of muscle tone. We have a loss of reflexes, areflexia, atonia, paresis, and in a duration of time we have atrophia, atrophic changement of muscles, because alpha motor neurons make the muscles in trophic stage, help the trophic function of muscle. So this is about the peripheral paresis. Please remember, when we say the peripheral paresis, we mean that atrophia, atonia, areflexia or hyporeflexia, and paresis by peripheral, the loss of the force of movement. What about the central type? In a central type, this is a little bit harder, and in next lecture we will discuss the evolutional way of structural nervous system, because it is important to understand a lot of type of pathology which concerning about extrapyramidal pathology, because each type of extrapyramidal pathology is involved in one stage of the evolutional development of nervous system, and it shows us the changed relationship between the nervous center involved in movement centers. So today we speak about the pyramidal system. Pyramidal system, as you know, starting from the frontal lobe in Bett's cells, it goes to the up and crossing in a bound of the spinal cord and the brainstem, and 80% of these fibers are after cross, finishing the alpha motor neuron. So when you want, for example, doing some movement, your alpha motor neuron is irritated, it transmits to the alpha pyramidal neuron is irritated, it transmits to the alpha motor neuron to the vice versa side, and these muscles is constructed. In each stage of the nervous system, there is a lot of movement centers and nucleus exist. So pyramidal, it's called the extrapyramidal system. For example, extrapyramidal system is consists by the basal ganglia at first up. It consists caudatum nucleus and pallidum and so on. It consists the upper type red nucleus, Lewis body, vestibular nucleus. Also, it involves the reticular system and reticulospinal tract. The nervous center of the nearest to the thalamus colliculus, thalamus is also involved in a movement controlling. And second big part of which is controlling the nervous system, movement system, is the cerebellum. As you remember from the anatomy, the frontal lobe starting two types of the pyramidal way. First type is about the pyramidal way as I speak, and second type of pyramidal neurons goes to the thalamus. So simultaneously one impulse which the movement you want to do comes at first to the cerebellum by crossing in pons, and cerebellum give from the frontal lobe information what movement you want to do. For example, in a second way from the muscle system, cerebellum take the information in what position are now the body. So cerebellum is changing the muscles relationship of the agonist and antagonist levels of irritation in a way that this pyramidal tract, parallel pyramidal tract impulses can give pointedly this movement. For example, when the patient have damaged his cerebellum, he can do something, but he can't do it pointedly. So it will give us the coordination. So coordinately movement. So cerebellum also we can involve in a movement system because it's controlling the coordination of the movement. So, and there is a brainstem nucleus, reticular tract, reticular system, olives, and maybe biggest is this one. Also spinal centers. We speak about the spinal reflexes, if you remember when we speak about the reflexes, vestibular reflexes, cervical reflexes. We discuss and show it a lot of time. You need to remember and read again because it's a very important topic in the nervous system. So, when pyramidal system is starting to doing some movement, each pyramidal, from the pyramidal system is coming parallel. This is the impulses which are coming to the alpha motor neuron, and parallel ways which is coming to the basal ganglion, coming to the all of this nucleus, and pyramidal system is controlling the model, making the model of the this type of movement by involving all of this nucleus, modulating his function to doing this movement. For example, when you try to opening a door, your balance is little bit changed. Your hand is coming to the front, and if the pyramidal tract do not control the vestibular tract, you can walk down, good. And all of the program of movement is involved both pyramidal and extrapyramidal tract. Why we say the pyramidal tract is most important we speak about? Because it is newest in evolution, and when the human start to use his foot, hands, fingers and hands, we said motors programs, the pyramidal tract is most controls the movement in eye, face and the fingers. Also my language also controlled by the pyramidal system, and we speak about speech centers which also type of the pyramidal system. So tract, when starting from the pyramidal system, so tract when starting from the pyramidal system to the alpha motor neuron is called the corticomuscular tract. So parallel tract to the corticonuclear tract, but the nucleus of the brainstem, which are controlling my face-eye movement and there nem tudom ennek angolul sayışım boss. Te watch.
Skálmira stoptam, Eli, stoptam.
Tomēr bankāne kaut cranial nerves. Cranial nerve nucleus is called the corticonuclear tract. Okay? Corticonuclear tract. So it's controlled the face, eyes movement and movement in a head face. So pyramidal tract when damaged, for example, you see it a lot. The first sign of the pyramidal damage is a paresis. Paresis is, we say, the central type of paresis. It's something like vice versa of the peripheral type of paresis. If in a peripheral type we say the in a both type of loss of force. So force of muscles construction is damaged. and insufficient of force we have. In the peripheral type, when we have a loss of muscle tone, but the central type of paresis, we have a hypertonia. The muscle tone are become high. Why? I will explain a little bit later. So we have a hyperreflexes, but the fourth, the trophic function not lost because alpha motor neuron in pyramidal paresis are not damaged. So alpha motor neuron can control these trophic functions, and the muscles looks like a normal. It looked like a little bit changed after duration of time, but it connected to the not forcing, not constructing of muscle, not functioning, atrophy without functions. So why in a central type of paresis of pyramid damage, we have this type of the hyperreflexia and hypertonia, which at first we looked, when we see the paresis, at first we looked at these two symptoms, how is the tonus and how is the reflexes. So why? Because in a normal condition, pyramid system is control all of this nucleus, which is also involved in the muscle tone, function, and being in a normal muscle tone. When he is damaged, so the controlling of this activity of subnucleus neurons are lost. So this neuron is irritated a lot because nobody stop him from up. And when his function is coming to up, he enhanced the muscle tone reflex from the gamma motor neurons and also lost the gamma motor neurons pyramid innervation too. And these two types of the function, muscle tone and reflexes, goes up. Please remember, when we see the paresis is a loss of or insufficient of muscle force. It could be from a muscle. It is not neurology. It is neurology, but not so big neurology. It is concerning to the nerve damage, and it is concerning to the pyramidal tract. Also, it could be concerning biocortical disorders. And one type of paresis, we say that sensory paresis. Why sensory? Because it is paresis, it is a not so paresis. He has a force, but he can doing some movement because he lost his sensory system. It's called mostly, we see it in mostly sensory ataxia, for example. When you ask to patient to show you something, he can do this movement coordinately faster because he can feel his hand position and he lost it. This is, we say, some specific type of paresis, but it's not so paresis, it was a sensory paresis. And very important to distinguish these three type of paresis, of damage, movement damage. So in the next lecture we will speak about the evolutional structure of the nervous system, and we will speak about extrapyramidal pathology, which is involved hyperkinesis, hypokinesis. For example, we'll speak about the Parkinson disorders, tics and chorea, atetosis and so on. But at first, for understanding why this, for example, chorea is looking like this type of movement, at first we understand how to evaluate the movement in an evolution stage. So it is very hard, but I hope you understand. I hope I can explain you. And once if you understand all of these hard things, you can distinguish all of this type of movement and understand of origin of this movement. So thank you for your attention. We will meet after a few days.